Hey Flosstube, it's Lori of Mischievous Stitches. It is Sunday, July the 15th, and I'm back with a quick video to let you know what I've been up to, what I've been crafting. I hope everyone has had a great couple of weeks. I know since my last video we have celebrated the 4th of July. I had a house full of family and friends here, had a wonderful time. My son-in-law was here from California. He's a U.S. Marine, and he was home for the week. We just had a great time. We fixed all the normal foods for, well, I guess normal for our area. We had barbecue, hash, rice, corn and green beans, potato salad. Just had a great time. My dad and I actually got out in the backyard and cooked a huge pot of South Carolina hash. My dad has always fixed that for years, and he is struggling to do it on its own. It's a lot of, it takes hours to make. A lot of, manual labor goes into it, and I wanted to be a part of it this year so that I could learn from him all the secrets and the tricks and all the tips that he could give me, and I had a great time doing that. So my dad swears that it tastes so much better when you cook it out back in the yard, so we did that, and he has a 15-gallon army pot that we cooked it in, and of course that sounds like a lot, but when everyone takes a container or two home with them, let's just say there's not much in my freezer. So I'm hoping maybe on Labor Day that we'll cook it again, just maybe cook half the recipe this time, but so that I can cook it and he can give me pointers and critique it along the way. So anyway, last weekend I went up and spent the weekend with Natasha, Mary, and Donna again, and we had a little themed weekend, Christmas in July. We kind of decided that we would all start a Christmas design for the weekend, and I started Lavender and Lace, I can never remember his name, Lavender and Lace Santa of the Forest. And I had a very small start, and I've stitched on 36 count flax Edinburgh linen, and I just got, that's the back, I just got a little of the bear started. I really like that design. I love the lavender and lace Santas, and this one has been sitting in my stash for way too long, so I took the opportunity to start it. I think this is one of the few pieces I've started this year that's not sampler themed. The other one is a piece that we started while I was there. I started it on Saturday and finished it on Sunday when I got home, and this is the blue flower. I'm sorry I did not iron this, just a little too lazy, just didn't take the time. But this is a freebie pattern by the Work Basket, and you can find this on their website. Just look it up under, or type in Work Basket freebies in your search engine. There's actually several different freebie designs there, something for everyone, all styles and for all tastes. Michelle at Stripe Rose messaged me this week to let me know there's a pink flower there too, and so I went back by there. I must have just looked over that when I downloaded the pattern, and I plan on doing that one too. So I got this, and because it was a Christmas in July kind of theme, we all kind of gifted each other little things, and Mary gifted us all this cute little Christmas pouch with a pair of scissors. And I love this, that little snip. And she had her daughter-in-law make us all a little scissor-themed fob. It's a Christmas-themed fob. Thank you, Mary. And also, just so you know, Mary crochets as well. And in her kitchen, as well as in her stitch room on the table, she has these little drink holders that she has made for, when someone has a drink or a cup there. to keep it from sweating and leaving, you know, leaving a ring on the table. And she gifted us all a set, and it's coming up much brighter in the film here than it is in life. But she made these all for us in our favorite colors, so that was so sweet of her. So I think I have 6 of them, and I have them up here in my stitch room, just like I said, Mary. What else? I had put together kits for everyone with this freebie pattern, and I changed all of the colors up, and I changed them because I pulled the colors, went to see the fabric, could not find the fabric that I liked as backing fabric, so I go back, have the fabric that I do like, which is this one, cut, and I go back and find threads to match this one. So the call for colors in the pattern are different shades of blue and green than what is in this one. But I had chosen these colors, which are, the greens are 730 and 934, and the blues are 803 and 809. And I also gave each one of them the thread ring, because I am all about this week thread drops. My friend Karen, oftentimes when we get together to stitch or go shopping, she gifts everyone a few thread drops, and I absolutely love them. But I'm not 100% certain, but in my mind I remember that maybe I know she's a paper crafter, so I think she cuts them out on a Cricut. And I don't have a Cricut, but I love that she gifts these to us. But you know, I can't justify getting a Cricut just so I can make thread drops. Or I guess I could, but I'm not willing to. And Kitten Stitcher, a few videos back, showed where she was making thread drops, kind of recycling some of the household things there with like the Coca-Cola boxes and the cereal boxes, and making thread drops with them. And it gave me an idea that I could do what my friend Karen does, but do it more cheaply by getting the cutters instead of getting a Cricut. So because it was Christmas themed, this was in my bag, but I also gave them a few Christmas themed drops. And of course I have a few for myself, and I love those drops. So I see myself making a lot more. Actually, I have some ready to be cut, and let me just show you real quick. Well, let me go back to this. So the next time that we all get together, all of us girls at Mary's, we're going to finish these up, because we had to finish this week. And where did I put it? Well, I was going to show you. I know I pulled it down here. Or at least I thought I did pull it down here. Oh, there it is. Hold on. Sorry. There's a design, and it's called Bluebird's Nest by Hands On Design, and I've posted it on Instagram. And Mary, the first time we got together, gifted all of us with one of these heartware bowls and the bird's nest pattern to complete the lid, and we did that this weekend. So we got together about a month and a half ago, and so she gave us the threads and the fabric to stitch this, as well as the bowl, so that when we met up again, we could have a finishing day, and that's what we did. So on Instagram, I think I made it sound like we were finishing lots of things. No, we only finished this one thing because we had started it at our last get-together. And I just want to show you this. I love how this turned out. And I loved this little button to open it. And this is my finish underneath. I'm very anxious with finishing. I'm not very confident with it. And so I'll read and I'll watch videos, and then when I sit down to actually finish, I'm still a little anxious, but I have an idea of how I want to do it, where I want to go. Well, we were all, other than Mary seemed to be a lot more confident than Donna and Natasha and I. And so it was easy for me, as we were doing it as a group, to kind of feed off of the things that they were doing that was working, or to notice when they were doing something that wasn't working to learn from that mistake. And I think we were all kind of doing the same thing. We're kind of feeding off of, okay, that works. Okay, this doesn't work. Okay, I like that. And I really enjoyed that. I learned a lot. I would not hesitate to do this again. I felt very confident. And the other thing was, because Mary had gifted us and kitted us each one of these, when we finished them up, Donna made sure to cut all the templates for the mat board for us to finish this. I had bought the trim and brought that, and Natasha had brought the buttons. That way the finishing expense wasn't on Mary's, and that was great too, because we all shared the load, which made it to me just even more special. So every time I look at this, I'll think not only of Mary and our time together, but the button was Natasha, and the finishing circles were from Donna. But I love how that turned out. I did kind of glue with a toothpick, I know it was a Q-tip, the trim around, but I also used just regular straight pins to kind of tack it down as well. And I love how this turned out. This is super cute. What else? So for our next get together, we had planned to take this finish, which we have all finished it, I believe. I think Natasha's finished hers too. Everyone has finished this. And so we now have the crochet trim as well as the fabric. So when we get together again, it'll be another finishing for a piece and a stitch weekend, and I'm looking forward to it. Really am blessed to have them relatively close so that we can get together and spend time with one another. I have been working on a couple of things, not a lot of moving around. I am, as Taryn said, I'm no longer a monogamous stitcher. I'm more of a floozy. Because I've been stitching all the things. And Taryn, I just want you to know I'm not a floozy. I prefer the name a cross-stitch hussy. So I've basically only worked on my blue flower, and I worked a little more on this design that I got from Needleworker's Delight. This is by Lila Studio, and it's Dinah's Garden. I've showed it to you before. And basically I've only completed the weave in the basket as well as some of the red. I really like the is it Edinburgh fabric. The 40 count seems to be a thicker weave of linen, or the linen threads themselves are thicker. And I'm kind of on the fence about whether I like that or not. And so it's the same with my other piece that I've been working on. Same type of linen, 40 count. Hold on, let me loosen it. So this is Time and Season, and I will finish up my third page today, I'm sure. But this is it. I'm in love. So I'm only going to be a floozy for, you know, I'm already learning from my floozy mistakes. And I have been stitching on that piece all week long. I've learned that I can pretty much finish one page in maybe 7 to 9 days. So like I said, I'm hoping to finish that piece and get started on my 4th page. There's 9 pages total in that pattern. I've already dated it, so it has to be done for this year. And so I'm aiming for finished hopefully by October, if not before. What else? I got a few things in the mail, a few things that I ordered. My daughter was up here last night watching movies, and so things kind of got moved around, and I'm sure I'll forget something. But for those that don't know, this is Time and Season. This is my working copy. I love this. So basically I have done the top third. I'm almost done with the top third. I did download a couple. There was a recent sale on Willow Hill Samplings page, Etsy page, and I bought a couple pieces, and I will say I do not have color in my printer, so you're not going to be able to see them, but I know some of you have seen them, so you know which ones they are. So this is Land of the Free. And this one is one I'm really excited to start. And Mary just got a Dutch sampler as well. And this is Pennsylvania Dutch sampler. And it's a monochromatic piece. And I really am itching to start this one. So if I finished my work basket, Love, Faith, Hope, and my time and season, I might allow myself a start on this one. I wish I could show it to you in color, but it's more of a mustardy yellow, or maybe I think it's more of an orange tone to it, and I may break down and get some silks, or maybe a hank of silks for that. I really like it. And I saw someone on Instagram stitching this one. Lottie Da is one of my favorite designers, so I had to step out and get Awake My Soul and sing. I love it, love it, love it. And I got a piece of 36 count, I think I got Sahara, nope, Vintage Country Mocha to stitch that on. And it's going to be, it's 126 by 165. Like I said, I love Lottie Da anyway. And so I'm happy to have that piece. And there's one more piece, and this is another one that I'm itching to stitch. And I've ordered the fabric, and I'm hoping that fabric comes in. This will be my birthday start. My birthday is in October. And guess what? It's a big pattern. Can you believe it? This is Barbara Anna, and I actually printed it off at Mary's. Because my printer, this is The Fall by Barbara Anna, and I absolutely love it. Love it. So of course it's got the creation story on the top part. It's the firmament, you know, the firmament and the angels and the house and the cow, or it's a bull because he's got horns. I love it. Love it. I haven't seen anyone stitching this one, and I'm hoping that I'm just overlooking it, or someone stitched it in the past and go on Instagram and kind of see the progress pictures. But I really, really like this one, and so this one will be my birthday start. I'm already calling it. What else have I been up to? I found a video on YouTube of doing placemat pouches. So off to Walmart I go, and I get zippers, and I get thread, and I get the things I need to make. So this, and like I said, those reds are not pink, they're reds, and they're looking like fuchsia pink, but that turned into this. I love it. Love it. So I can see putting notions in here. I've never sewn anything like this, so it's exciting for me because I'm learning. Putting the zipper in was no problem. Boxing out the corners were no problem. I had done that before. I needed something here to hold while I pull the zipper. So instead I've got to pinch the pouch itself and then pull the zipper. So I can put ribbon on the zipper pull itself, you know, but every time I open it, I'm going to push in my corners so that I can, get what I'm saying? So I need to work on getting a ribbon or a piece of fabric or something so that I can do that. But this is the inside, just like on, how cool is that? Super easy, I swear. The first one didn't even take 30 minutes, and then today I made another one out of another pouch. This one was different because the placemat had scalloped edges, so of course I had to cut the scalloped edges off. This turned out to be 9 by 12, perfect project pouch for a small. Put the zipper in, that's the inside fabric. So you don't have to have an inner fabric and an outer fabric. The only thing with this one that I've got to look into is, okay, you see the zipper? I didn't find any issues with sewing the zipper in, anything like that. My problem comes in that, see the finished edge of the placemat where I had to cut the scallop off is right where I put the zipper, and you see it's going to kind of curl up, but the problem is you see when you open it up, it flares out like this. See? Is it still functional? Absolutely. I think there's got to be a better way to do that so that it doesn't do that, or so that I have more of a finished edge, because you can see that the fabric that the placemat was made out of is already raveled, and I've had to cut it a couple of times. And I know even with stitch fabric, you know, you always, if you don't zigzag your edges, there's always a fiber thread or two that wants to come loose, and eventually if you pull a few or snip them off, then the ones beneath will stop. It stops fraying, pretty much is what I'm saying. So I know it'll get to that point on this. But as far as for me, I'm not selling it. I'm not doing anything other than putting my pieces in there, and I am super happy about it. This one took me 10 minutes. 10 minutes to make. $3.47, $1.47. So for, with your thread, just basically say somewhere around $6 with change. I mean taxes. Awesome. Awesome. And I do want to say, Heather Moore was talking with me on Instagram the night I made the first one, and she's like, I don't even know how to sew. I can't sew a straight line to save my life. Give it a try, girl. You can do it. I'm telling you, it's easy. She goes out yesterday, gets what she needs, and the girl made one of these. That's how easy it is. Don't sell yourself short. Yes, you can do it. If you've got a sewing machine or your mama has a sewing machine, go get you a placemat and head over to your mama's house and sit down and make this bag. I'm telling you, 30 minutes the first one, and that was because I was watching the video as I was sewing it to make sure I did everything as she instructed. Awesome. Awesome. There will be more. What else? We had, so let me go back to right before 4th of July. My dad and I were getting ready. We were doing the grocery shopping for 4th of July. And my dad comes back here, and we're just sitting here in the house talking. There's no one else here but us. And I hear rustling towards the kitchen. And sometimes when our air conditioner flips off, the air vent itself in the, what do you call it? Wherever you put the air vent, it collapses back down, and when it does, because there's nothing sucking it up, it collapses down and it makes an odd scratchy noise. And I'm thinking it's that. Air conditioner's off, air vents relaxing, air filter, I'm sorry, is relaxing, and it makes a noise. No. I continue to hear it. My dad's hearing is not what it once was, and so he's not hearing this. So I'm telling my husband, he's not convinced because he didn't hear it. The next morning, I'm laying in bed right before the alarm's going off, and I'm hearing it very, very loudly. I go into my dining room, and I'm hearing that all in above my dining room on the ceiling. I'm thinking we've got a mouse, a rat. It sounds too loud. I've got to have a rat. We go out. I get traps. I put them out, and I call my husband. I said, you have got to get someone in there, because today I can't. I can't even. I've got to have that sucker out of here. So, long story short, was it a mouse? Was it a rat? It was a squirrel. Now, I want you to know, I love a squirrel. My channel name is Mischievous Stitches. Foolishness and mischievous is the meaning of a squirrel on a sampler. I love squirrels. I don't love squirrels in my house. I don't want them anywhere near my house. We had 2 oak trees in our front yard. This time last year we had removed, mainly because there are so many squirrels in this area. And it had started in the morning time. I could hear them run across the roof of our house where our bedroom is early in the morning, because that's when they frolic most, is early in the morning around daybreak. We had the the trees took down, because I know how destructive they can be with wiring and things that they get in your house. So, make a long story short, or a long story longer, my husband finally got someone out here, and the little guy was coming in a spot of metal, I don't know whether you call it splashing, or where two areas of my roof meet. So you've got the slant, and so it's this part here. We had just had the shingles done less than a year ago. The house re-roofed. So where they had taken that piece off to lay the shingles up to it, and they screwed it in, but the screw was just through the metal and not back into wood. So how that squirrel found that place, or how he knew to go to that exact place, I have no idea. But he got up in there and was in our roof. He did catch him, and we left it once he was removed. We left it up there for a few days to make sure there wasn't a mama or any babies or any grandparents, squirrely grandparents up there. But we were able to remove him, and I was very happy. Because he was actually the opposite corner from where I was sitting. He was coming in there. So, couldn't have him up here with me in this stitch room. Other thing, I want to tell you a little funny story. I go in Walgreens, and I love to look at, they'll have little baskets of maybe makeup and things they're getting rid of, or it's just a few left, or it was a special. So I love Maybelline's Great Lash Mascara. I always have. This kind. So I pick it up. There was 2 in a pack. It was marked down. I'm thinking I'll take one, I'll give one to my Chelts, and I get home, and several days later, I pull it out. I get ready for work, put my makeup on, out the door I go, and just so you know, I wake up about 5:30. Out the door I go. I get to work. Half the day goes by. And one of the ladies I work with said, "What is wrong with your eyes?" "Nothing." "What do you mean? What's wrong with my eyes?" I go in the bathroom. Can you see that? That's not the brush color. That's the mascara color. They were celebrating, what is this called? It's a limited edition mascara. Now I will say I wore blue mascara, blue-green mascara in the 80s. We have laughed about that all week. So, I'm just curious if anyone else has made a silly little mistake like that you didn't realize you had done it until someone brought it to your attention. Maybe you didn't wear green mascara at work, but maybe you did something similar. I hope everyone has a great week. I intend to keep working on the time and season sampler, and hopefully have another page finish or page and a half before I see you again. I hope everyone's enjoying your summer. I'm seeing lots of beach pictures and vacation pictures and family pictures. So I'm just happy along with you guys. But keep on stitching. Keep on enjoying your summer. Hugs and stitches, everyone. See you soon. Bye-bye.